Peace to Universal Families. Peace to Universal Families.
Peace to Universal Family. Peace to the Universal Family. My name is Clarkson.
Peace to Universal Family. It's me, Clarkson, and today's video is about the art of emotions. All right. I definitely wanted to specifically make this video today because of the state I'm in right now, mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm in a very shifting emotional state. It could be because of the astrological setting right now that's going on in May, if y'all are into that type of stuff, but we're not going to go too deep into that. It's just a lot of energies going on. And if y'all can feel it, comment down below if y'all know what I mean. But it's a lot of shifting going on, like a lot of change, and not really on the mental level, more on like the emotional, level, like with the heart and like the energies, not very logical, It's just, I feel like everybody on the planet can feel it. They might not be able to logically break it down what it is, but it's like a feeling, low, highs. It's like so many different feelings going on. So, and I'm feeling that right now. It's weird. So, I just wanted to kind of break down the definition of emotions. You already know what I usually do, and break it down pros and cons, and then the overall conclusion of just emotions. All right. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. Before we start today's video, I'd like to give a big thanks to our sponsors, the Clarkson Podcast. On this podcast, they talk about entertainment, business, spirituality, and more. So make sure you go check them out. They drop new episodes every week on Spotify. So tap in. All right, so here we go. The definition of emotions. Let's go. A natural, instinctive state of mind deriving from one circumstance, mood, or relationship with others. All right. So it's natural. Everybody has emotions. Everybody goes through different emotions, many different types. I have a list of different emotional states that I'm going to cover for this one. So just some basic ones, just to kind of get a better parameter of what emotions are. All right. We got another definition: instinctive or intuitive feeling as distinguished from reasoning or knowledge. So we have to separate the difference between knowledge, like facts versus emotions, because emotions are more like energies, and feeling, and facts are like hardcore, factual, logical things, not necessarily any type of emotion or feeling to it. So those are two different things, right? But they complement each other because most people feel a certain way because they know a certain thing. But we're just gonna go into the aspect of emotions right here, all right? So this is my perspective and a list that I have of emotional states. All right, so we got happiness, joy, anger, sadness, guilt, hate, peace, jealousy, jealous, envy, excited, ego, definitely ego, egotistical, interest, just being interested in something, that's an emotion, disgust, surprised, anxiety, boredom, craving, empathetic, fear, of course, fear, nostalgia, satisfaction, sexual desire, triumph, awkwardness, and admiration. These are just a few of them. The list is obviously many more. And that's basically just the basics I want to cover on what emotions are. All right, so now, let's see, what can I build on when it comes to my perspective of emotions? I feel like emotions are one of the most powerful things, especially in this human world. We definitely need emotions. We gotta understand, like, now that we know what emotions are, we know everybody has them, and everybody expresses them on different levels. Like me, I'm a very emotional person. When I say that, like, I can get real happy. Like, I can get really, 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 really happy. I talk about super joyful, jumping on my feet, all that. That's an emotion. So I'm a very emotional person. You see what I'm saying? I can get real angry, real angry. That's an emotion. So I'm a very emotional person. When somebody says they're a very emotional person, don't automatically correlate that to, this person is super sad all the time, or this person cries easily. That's not necessarily true. Someone who's, just has a lot of energy and flow into one particular emotion is an emotional person. So I'm a very emotional person, and that's basically what I break it down. Emotions. When I express myself, it is at a very high level of whatever emotion I'm in at the moment. It's a high level, And I notice that, so sometimes I try to keep that in because sometimes it's too powerful. Sometimes a certain emotion is too powerful for sometimes I can get consumed by my own emotions sometimes, just because it's so damn powerful. And the same for others, So that's something to note. And yeah, so this video's not gonna be too long, so we're just gonna get straight into the pros and cons and then build from there. All right, y'all. So let's get it. Pros of emotions and expressing emotions. Expressing emotions is extremely beneficial in all ways, and I definitely want to go into different ways of expressing your emotions. Because you can express your emotions verbally. That's just one way. Since we covered these other emotional states, we already know that there's a million different ways to express happiness. Playing a video game with your homie, that could be expressing your joy, your happiness. Or painting could be expressing your joy, your happiness, your peace, or your hate, or your jealousy, or your ego. It's a million different ways to express your emotions. Now, expressing your emotions to other people, usually it's verbally, but you can do the same thing to other people with a song. You can express your emotions to other people with a song, or by fighting them. That's definitely a way, physically fighting somebody, martial arts or whatever. That's definitely a way. Like if y'all watch Naruto, he says he talks to Sasuke through his fists. Like that's how they talk. They don't really do too much of the verbal. They communicate with each other when they're fighting with each other, right? So that's a form of expressing your emotions too. Yeah. So um, it's a million different ways to express your emotions, and I feel like expressing your emotions is extremely beneficial and important to do. That's a pro. It's just to express your emotions. Know what they are and express them for sure in any way you can. Not everybody talks it out. Not everybody fights it out. Not everybody, you know what I'm saying? So if you can break down um, different people's emotions and how they express their emotions, you're able to emotionally be empathetic to that person. And this is definitely a pro in relationships too, y'all. Knowing people's emotions and how they express them. And then this also ties into the cons that I'm about to go into in a second when it comes to emotions and especially in relationships. But for the pros, it's good to know how somebody expresses their emotions. That makes all the difference. If you don't know how somebody expresses their fear or their anger or their happiness or their joy or their guilt or their awkwardness, if you don't know those things in a relationship, it could tear it apart because you're not gonna know what's going on. You're gonna assume you're gonna do all these million things because you're like, wait a minute, why is this person doing this? Oh, they're expressing that emotion. I was expressing this emotion, and either we're in sync or we're clashing based off of the emotional state that we're both in. Somebody can be sad, somebody can be completely happy, and like, wait a minute, why are you happy? Or the other person will be like, why are you sad? We're both in different emotional states, So, um, expressing our emotions and learning how each other expresses their emotions is very important. I think, And then I might make a separate video on ego, like the art of ego, but ego is a very important thing too. Very negative in a lot of aspects. It has some positive aspects, but I'll probably go into another video. A lot of negative things, Ego can get in the way of a lot of things, And the ego is actually a funnel of emotions. Like you could be feeling sad and then throw ego on top of it. You could be feeling guilt and then throw ego on top of it. You could be feeling hate, jealousy, disgust, sexual desire, anxiety, and then throw ego on top of it to kind of mask those things and then express those emotions through the ego. And it makes it it's like a booster almost, like a 10 times worse. Like if y'all draw Dragon Ball Z, you got regular base Goku, then you got Kaioken Goku, Kaioken times 10. It's all of Goku's regular attributes just times 10. So ego is like a booster to any individual emotion, If you slap ego on top of fear, usually that's like a good combo. Ego on top of fear kind of cancels each other out, so you end up not being as scared if you got the ego to kind of balance out the fear. So that's what I would say is a pro. You slap ego on fear, you pretty much straight. But if you slap ego on disgust, that's gonna take the disgust emotion and times it by 10. If you slap ego on jealousy, that's terrible. If you slap ego on anger, if you slap ego on sadness, you know I feel like that would be a good one. It depends on how you do it though. Sadness to somebody else, and then you slap ego on top of that. That's not good. So ego is a very, very, very important emotion to break down and find out why you feel like that. And yeah, those are the pros of the emotions, I guess. And then let's go to the cons. What are the cons of emotions? This is my personal perspective. Emotions can be truthful without having a negative intention, but no one will know that. Like I said before, y'all, you have to learn how people express their emotions. So if you don't know how somebody expresses their emotions and they express their emotions, it's only so many ways you could take it. You know, you could take somebody expressing their emotions as negative, even if their intention wasn't negative. But it's the way they said it and how they said it, and it could have been masked in ego. It could have been masked in awkwardness. It could have been masked in fear when they were expressing it. So you took it as this type of way, and regardless of their intention of what they were trying to say, because it was masked in ego or awkwardness or anxiety when they said it, you took it as that, and you took that and you expressed your emotion based off of what you heard. So those are definitely cons of people who are trying to express themselves but have other emotions masking it. You know, we should express ourselves truthfully, and you know, we shouldn't have these other emotions masking our initial emotion. Like, so if we're happy about something, be happy about it. Don't be happy about something, but then also feel jealous at the same time. So it kind of overshadows your happiness. You know, I'm happy about it, but at the same time, I'm jealous. So it's like, not really gonna express my happiness completely. No, you want to try your best not to do that. You know, because the person that you're talking to or the environment that you're in, you might not receive that actual happiness emotion that you were trying to give off because it's masked in jealousy or it's masked in ego or whatever. You know. So those would be the cons for sure of emotions. That some emotions getting in the way, you know. And I'm speaking for this personally because I express my emotions, and because my emotions are so powerful sometimes, I'll say something and then it'll be masked in something else, and then it'll make it worse for me, you know. I'm trying to express something, get something off my chest, you know, to express it, but then it's masked in so many different layers. So by the time it gets out, it's not what I intended for it to be, you know. And that's what I gotta work on. I'll be tripping over my own words, tripping over my own, you know, intentions. Like I have intentions. Okay, boom. I want this person to know how I'm feeling, so maybe potentially get them to understand, and maybe we can come to a better understanding and grow. Like, oh wow, okay, now I see where you were coming from. You didn't mean that, but then by the time it gets out of my mouth, it's nowhere near my initial intention. It ends up being something terrible. So that's an emotional con that I have to work on. You know, stop masking your emotions in other things. And usually, why people do that, y'all, why people mask their emotions and within other emotions is for like protection's sake. So when you're like, when you feel like, you know, surprised or have anxiety or whatever, you tend to mask your emotions more. Or you have, you know, guilt or jealousy or whatever, you tend to mask them. Um, so it's like a backup plan almost. Like if this emotional shot doesn't really go through, I have the other emotional wall as a barrier just in case, so I won't really get hurt. You know, so I shoot this out, and then the other person doesn't respond how I want to. I have this wall of jealousy or this wall of anger to kind of protect me just in case they shoot something at me and I don't like it. Like, okay, I'm still good because I have this right here. So yeah, I'll shoot out my happiness, but at the same time, the hate wall is right there. You know. So that's not something we should do, but that's something that we do. I do it personally, you know. I'll say something in a certain way to be like, if it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, it don't matter, you know, because I'm good either way. That's not how you should express your emotions. You should express your emotions truthfully, 100%. Yes, it's more vulnerable, but I feel like it's better that way because when you don't do it that way and you have these other walls of emotion, uh, kind of like weakening the initial intention of your emotions, and then you end up losing the value of it. And then the person who's receiving the emotions, like, you know, they're like, what? It don't make no sense. It ends up starting confusion, and that's the worst thing within a relationship and within not just like intimate relationships. I'm talking about everybody around you, family. Like they don't understand what you're saying because of the other emotions masking. Like for example, if you want your family members or friends to like know something and you're expressing something to them, but you're expressing it with anger, 9 times out of 10 they're not even gonna get your original intention. even if you want them to know something. You express it's masked with anger, it's masked with sadness, it's masked with envy or something, or it can be excitement. Like you can be so excited about something and you're saying something, they don't even know what you're talking about because you're so hey guys, like I've done it before. I told my friends and family stuff. I'll be so excited they don't even be hearing what I'm saying. They're like, oh, okay, nice. I'm like, dang, you're not listening to me? I'm like, yeah, well, listen, but this other energy is over masking your actual intention of you trying to tell us something. I'm like, oh, I had to sit there, calm down, see what's going on, match the energy of the room, and then tell them what I'm trying to say, So we gotta be careful with expressing our emotions with other emotions in front of it, Like, I'll be bored, but then I'll have another emotion to express, but the boredom just overshadows. It's like somebody will ask me a question, and then I want to answer, but then I'm just so bored at the moment. It's like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, dang, that's how you answer the question? Okay, never mind then. And that wasn't my intention to not answer the question. It's just at the moment I was feeling a emotion of boredom. So that boredom emotion overshadowed the initial emotion for me to want to help people. And so that is definitely a thing. Awkwardness is probably the most popular emotional blocker. Like you can want to be happy, or you can want to talk to somebody, but you're awkward. You can want to listen to something, but it's awkward. So awkwardness is definitely the one that can be one of, if not the biggest emotional blocker that comes forward in front of almost all emotions. You want to tell somebody something, you want to share something, you want to do something new, but it's awkward. That comes in front of it. It's like, I can't really get through that. Or if I get through it, it kind of gets through. Instead of getting through regularly, it gets through like crooked, like this. So yeah, that's basically the cons of emotions, and we want to be aware of that. And that's basically it, y'all. So the conclusion to this video is emotions, what they are. Okay, they're instinctive or intuitive feelings that we have that are separate from facts. These are just emotional things that we have to interpret knowledge. And so if we want to tell somebody something, it's not about what we say, it's how we say it. If I want to tell somebody I have a water bottle, I can say like that, or I can say I have a water bottle, or I can say, look, I have a water bottle. Those are different emotions explaining the same knowledge of me saying I have a water bottle, just in different emotional states, So we need to be able to identify our emotions and try our best to control them and feel them, to express the emotions too, as honestly as we possibly can. But yeah, y'all, that's about it. Don't want to go too in depth. Well, I did pretty good, honestly, with this definition. But yeah, the art of emotions. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank y'all for watching. New videos coming soon. Yeah, follow me on Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. New stuff coming soon. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Peace.